5 people are trapped in a century-old abandoned sewage pit. Whoever climbs out bare-handed in 1 hour can win a $10,000 prize. The pit is over 5 meters high from the ground. George finds a rusty iron frame. There are also several damp wooden boards hidden in the weeds. He plans to step on these boards and wedge the iron frame into the water pipe above. Ethan notices a window above the corner. He thinks this spot is very advantageous. He brings a branch and wedges it into the window as a fulcrum. He plans to pull himself up with the branch. He just doesn't know if the dry branch can bear his weight. Everyone is looking for their own escape route. None of them want to give up. Jake accidentally sinks into the swamp in the middle. It adds another concern for their actions. With the support of the wood, George wedges the iron frame into the water pipe. It looks unstable. He stands on the wood halfway up, daring to go neither up nor down. After many repeated attempts, Ethan bets the branch won't break. He moves up slowly along the cracks in the wall. He is only an arm away from the window. Ethan reaches the window above. His amazing arm strength lets him grab the ground with one stretch. It is much easier from then on. Ethan escapes the sewage pit first. Tyler waits for the right chance and moves away the branch left behind. He can't waste what others don't use. He fixes the iron frame under the branch. It is steady when he stands on it. He aims at the window and jumps lightly. He also climbs out along Ethan's escape route. Only 3 people are left. 40 minutes have passed. George doesn't want to wait any longer. Luckily, he grabs the water pipe just in time. He can reach the platform by stretching out his right hand. George sighs in relief. He finally escapes the sewage pit. His nervous hands are shaking. He dare not imagine how scary it would be to fall suddenly. Jake feels an invisible pressure coming at him. His girlfriend is waiting for him above. He wonders if it will be embarrassing if he can't climb out. Sean has already built a ladder. He can almost reach the top by stepping on these boards. Sean avoids the iron rods and starts climbing up. He can reach the ground easily. He also escapes successfully. Only Jake is left. He doesn't want to stay in this terrifying pit for another second, so he uses the remaining boards and branches to build an escape route. This spot is a little difficult. He goes back to the pit to think of another way. He wants to find a route no one else has taken. He uses the branch to clear the sharp edges above, and also checks the stability of the wall. Persistent and clever George always surprises others. He climbs up by holding onto the branch. The estimated height lets him grab the platform above exactly, but there is still a distance to climb up. He uses momentum to help himself. After many attempts, he finally reaches the ground. Having a fulcrum means having hope. He struggles to climb out of the sewage pit. He finishes the challenge within the time limit. His hands and arms hurt, but the joy of success washes away the pain. Pandora's ecosystem keeps thriving. All creatures embrace new growth and evolution. The mantis practices hunting moves after meals each day. Rhinoceros beetles wander along vines. With its strong physique, it swats away all tiny creatures in the way. Peaceful days last for a while. One early morning, you witness the mantis' final evolution. It molts hanging upside down. The bud-like protrusions on its back turn into transparent wings after 2.5 hours. As Pandora's sun rises, the mantis evolves into its ultimate form. This also means its life is drawing to a close. Under natural laws, it must find a mate and reproduce quickly. You introduce a male mantis named White, hoping the two spark a romantic connection. Faced with the female mantis twice his size, White is timid to approach, even panics in fear. You decide to give them more time to get along. At the top of Pandora's food chain, the sun lizard is like a golden dragon. A single roar shakes the whole world. Its body grows bigger and bigger. Golden scales on its body shine brightly. It lies comfortably on a boulder sunbathing, eyes fixed on small creatures fluttering around. A damselfly lands on a vine. It grew and transformed from an aquatic larva. Now it looks elegant and graceful, yet it is alone with no kindred around. Its beauty blooms only for itself with no admirers. The next early morning, the two mantises meet on the ceiling, slowly approach each other keeping distance. White seems to gain the mantis queen's approval. This romance seems to be heading for a happy ending, but the situation takes a sharp turn soon after. White senses danger and turns to flee, yet it is already too late. The mantis queen launches an attack, kills White on the spot, then starts feasting on this prey. This is the natural law of the mantis clan. White's remains scatter all over the rainforest, discovered and carried away for use by the ant army. You can't help but feel sorry for White, even as God mistakes happen once in a while. Like the day you forget to close the ecosystem tank door, you suddenly realize it hours later. The newly introduced huntsman spider has vanished. Worse still, you can't confirm how many creatures have escaped Pandora and entered your living space. The ecological story of Pandora is not over. More exciting content awaits you in the next episode. This is the most desperate cave escape Jake has ever faced. He feels more anxious than ever before, because the underground river water has risen to half his face. If he doesn't escape in time, he risks being submerged at any moment. The little oxygen left will make him suffocate. The deep cave stretches endlessly. The water level is almost touching the cave ceiling. What's more desperate? In the narrow space, oxygen is consumed rapidly, making Jake feel tight in his chest. He quickly takes 2 deep breaths to steady his heart rate, because he knows clearly excessive panic only speeds up oxygen consumption. He is in an extremely very dangerous situation. Just a few hours ago, the sudden rise of water level caught everyone off guard. Luckily Jake had a small scuba oxygen tank. He barely swam for over 10 minutes to get here, but the oxygen in the tank is almost exhausted now. For the rest of the journey, he can only move forward close to the water with great difficulty. There are many crisscrossing caves ahead. Jake presses his face against the rock wall to breathe heavily. He tries to stay calm and make rational judgments, because choosing the wrong route will deal a double blow to his mind and body. Luckily Jake follows the direction of the water current. He turns correctly into a larger space. The group moves forward quietly and orderly. A narrow passage brings a little relief to everyone. When bending over to pass through this passage, the suffocating feeling from darkness strikes suddenly again. Following the faint light of the teammates ahead makes the oppressive feeling less intense. Jake feels he is getting closer and closer to the cave entrance. Watching his teammates get ashore one after another, Jake follows closely. Finally, the group climbs out from an abandoned well. The sun is still shining brightly outside. It feels like escaping from despair and gaining a new life of freedom. These are 4 smooth ice pits. 4 people with different occupations challenge escaping from the ice pit. The fastest escaper will win $10,000. The slowest escaper will be frozen. The ice pit is 4 meters high. The internal temperature is -30 degrees Celsius. The fisherman has fishing tools. The chef has kitchenware. The student has various electronic gadgets and miscellaneous items. The last one is a bystander. He has no extra tools. Who do you think will escape first? Who will fail and accept the punishment? The fisherman takes out an ice auger. He wants to drill a hole in the middle, then use it as a middle platform. Climb up by stepping on the auger. The chef takes out a pile of iron pots. He wants to heat the bottom of the pots, then stick them on the ice. The melted water will freeze again. Use it as steps to climb up. The student takes out a roll of heavy-duty tape. He wraps the tape all over his body. He wants to stick to the ice and climb up slowly. The bystander George has no tools. He tries to move up with his height, but he overestimates his own height. The chef's method fails. He finds a box of wet wipes. He thinks of a similar way. Twist the wipes into a rope. Reinforce it with water. Can he succeed? The fisherman also starts to climb, but he overestimates his physical flexibility. He fails. Then he thinks of using a knife. Drill holes on the ice. Carve out steps. Then climb up step by step. When he is about to succeed, he digs another hole on the ice. He finally climbs out. He becomes the first one to escape. The student's idea fails. He has no other way for the moment. He can only take out his phone to break the ice, but it is useless. He takes out his laptop again, but it is still useless. The chef makes a rope ladder with wet wipes. He connects the top to his backpack, throws it outside the pit as a support point. It seems to work well. He tries it out. The structure is stable. Finally, he climbs up through the rope ladder. George keeps kicking the ice. It cannot do any damage. The host tells him he can use any items on him. Then he thinks of his scarf. Use the water on the ice. Wet the scarf and tie it with his belt. Throw it over the ice pit to fix it. He starts climbing after it freezes, but his feet are slippery. He cannot climb up only with his hands. Finally, he runs out of energy and fails. The student uses a similar method. He wraps the tape on his backpack. The backpack is thrown outside the pit to fix it, but he cannot succeed after many attempts. The tape breaks halfway. On the other side, George wants to avoid punishment. He decisively takes off his pants, makes another foothold in the middle, climbs up hard. Finally, he succeeds, but his leg gets injured. Only the student is left at last. He gives up, accepts the punishment of being frozen. Guess, where did George get the water?